wodzu wita w kolejnym, chyba już ostatnim odcinku z gry Slay the Princess, ale jeszcze się przekonamy. W każdym razie plan na dzisiaj jest Uwięziona. Nowa gra.
You're here to slay her.
Doskonale to wiemy. No i częściowo próbując w ostatniej im dojść z powietrą do bestii, już sobie mniej więcej wybadaliśmy drogę. Więc idziemy, weźmiemy sobie ostrze, wejdziemy do piwnicy.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it fool you. It's
Zejdź
You're
dalej.
still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist.
Jeszcze nie
binding
podjąłem
her to
decyzji.
the
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how
No inaczej chyba do
reasonable she's
więźniarki nie
been. You should
dojdziemy,
just drop
więc
the blade and talk things out.
chyba właśnie tak zrobimy.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone.
Upuść.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine.
Rozumiemy, nie musisz przypominać.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Tak, trochę niezręcznych.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Kto powiedział, że chcemy cię zabić? Masz doprowadzić do końca świata.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm
Cóż,
allegedly
właśnie
so
ścieżka, którą zaraz zbierzemy, powinna być właśnie jakąś pierwszą, bo tutaj są no właśnie takie największe wątpliwości, w miarę moralne postępowanie, ale z trzymaniem się na baczności. No a tutaj już jakby za wiele odpowiedzi i dylematów przez nas nie przejdzie. No ale dobra, wszystko to wszystko. Miałem nadzieję, że ty mi powiesz.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Nie tylko jej.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly
Cześć,
incapable
Zone.
of ending the world?
Właśnie jej
Or
chcemy
do you trust
uwierzyć.
whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
No dobra.
know.
Myślę, że wystarczy tak, iż no większość odpowiedzi znamy.
You know what.
Dokładnie, wiemy po co tu jesteśmy. Zamierzam nadal trzymać cię tu w zamknięciu. Przynajmniej przez jakiś czas. Uznamy się lepiej, a wtedy zdecyduję co zrobić. Nie wypuszczę
That
jej.
seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
Dla ciebie to jest najlepsza opcja. Podługa cisza jest odsunięta w czasie jak najbardziej.
You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Podjąłem decyzję. Zostawię ją zamkniętą w piwnicy.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take.
Wygrywamy
We can
my,
make this work.
którzy
If we just
zdobywamy
stay here and
wszystkie już
keep
księżniczki.
watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Z pewnością.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
Nie? Trzymamy się planu i zostawiamy ją pod kluczem.
It'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading
z
it with the
pewnością
heavy
dużo to
wooden
pomoże.
table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door I'll hold for very long anyways.
O ile nie jesteś koszmarem, to powstrzymają.
Good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No.
Oż wie, można to samo powiedzieć. No dobra. Możesz mi grozić do woli, to tylko ulży mojemu sumieniu.
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later you're going to have to sleep. And I'll make sure you
Co, czyli ponownie to samo, to że jeżeli zaczynamy i idziemy spać, no to nagle drzwi można magicznie otworzyć.
Princess out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped,
Chwila.
and the door to the basement is ajar.
To wygląda nawet...
And the table
Już mówiłem, że
shoved
ponownie mamy
out.
ten sam motyw co z koszmarem, ale nie wiem, czy my po prostu nie doszliśmy do koszmarów.
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful.
No właśnie. Chyba jednak nie wszystko poszło po naszej myśli.
It isn't all at once.
Przecież możemy to wszystko skipnąć. To był koszmar, prawda? Tak, to wygląda jak koszmar. To jest koszmar. No to teraz już nie mamy spajta do tych aktów. Dobra. Gdzie mieliśmy... Tutaj chyba możemy jeszcze jakoś to zrobić. Dobra, ciągle jej nie wypuszczamy.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find.
Tak, dobra. Idziemy. No i zobaczyliśmy sobie, jeżeli szliśmy, co jeżeli na przykład się wrócimy.
It's never too late to do the right thing. Now hurry. You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark.
Łakam, nie chcę, będzie prisoner. Dobra, jak my możemy tam dojść? Na wszelki wypadek jeszcze raz. I teraz już po prostu full tutorial.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin...
Dobra, z pewnością możemy zacząć od pójścia do chatki. Okej, i już chyba widzę, co trzeba zrobić. Czyli bardzo podobnie jak z damą, tylko że najpierw bierzemy
You
ostrze.
take the blade from the...
Uwalniamy ją, no ja to chcę ją zabić nami. My próbujemy przeszkadzać. Wygląda to już nie jest dama, która będzie przerażona na samą myśl, że może jednak nas zabić, tylko... A zresztą zaraz się przekonamy.
You're still listening to reason.
Puszczamy. Jak miałbym się stąd dostać? Wstajecie. Przyjrzeć kajdanom.
She speaks with almost complete non. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way. You attempt
Nic się nie dzieje, schodzimy, ratujemy.
against your better judgment. You place the blade against the princess's arm. You cut into her. The blade is sharp. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns
No
to
dobra, i
face.
teraz full
How is
skupienie.
she so composed on...
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Odejść do zamkniętych
No,
drzwi.
we won't have any of that. The stakes are as the princess... Wait, this isn't fair. You
Czyli
can
jeżeli
watch.
ciekaliśmy, to była wiedźma, no to nie ciekamy. Ostrzeż ją.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Opieraj się.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
and then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground.
No i w sumie to by w końcu to może uwięźnia, no bo ona bez nas stąd nie wyjdzie.
This is the end,
Więc no tak.
isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Oby było. Było! Dobrze. Uwięziona.
Path, you're here to slay her.
Katka. Zacznijmy może od sejfa, szybko się w końcu udało sprykować.
She will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just
Sceptyk.
go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Chodźmy.
The interior of the cabin.
No, drzwi z pewnością znacznie bardziej wzmocnią jakoś... Dobra, jak nam się pojawią opcje dopiero. No, panie narratorze. Co za escape'a już się obejrzysz i nie powiesz nic więcej? Na to jedno.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I dopiero teraz... Najpierw myślę, że pójdziemy... O dziwo bez.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon.
Ktoś pytał o twoje zdanie?
Sure. What if she, I don't know, turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner. Yes, I'm sure. Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay, I'm trusting you.
Ej, nie mam tu nic do gadania. Co to za wspaniały pomysł.
Yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex.
Naprawdę nie możemy wejść bez ostrza?
Wonderful. You do
Okay.
exactly that, sweeping the blade from the table before proceeding.
Cóż, przynajmniej będzie mniej wczytywania później.
Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes.
No
with the
tak, ten jest
princess.
odcinek już
She
nie
looks at
pomoże.
you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining
Tak,
the
jeszcze jest
metallic
jeden
chorus
obok
as she
wolny.
adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us
Tak,
should chat
usiądaj,
before
może
you
od razu,
bury that
od razu
pin in
się
my
jeszcze
heart.
zamknę. Ale dobra, teoretycznie bez ostrza, pokojowo, no to usiądźmy.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Dobra, na razie niech
You
będzie
do as she
tutaj.
asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Patrząc na jej obecny stan, to z uwolnieniem może być lekki problem. Co się stało po tym, jak ostatnio zginąłem?
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how. So you've already been here.
Ja
As much
dla
as I
pana
would like to remain
spostrzegawczego.
in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary even.
Oczywiście.
And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At
No,
least
z
we can
kilkadziesiąt
remember
ich
what
było.
happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
Zwłaszcza przy tych wszystkich testach.
Exactly, he gets it. You're
Czytywaniach
lucky.
ponownych.
So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. All right?
Chyba kilkadziesiąt, może przesadzam, ale kilkanaście z
Why is it
pewnością.
important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You
Znudziło się jej
shouldn't be
czekanie.
daydreaming.
No dobra. Co miałbym zrobić?
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous. But she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing. Oh please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear a voice of reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only weapon. Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
Nawet jeżeli jej damy nóż, to łańcuchy skutecznie ją powstrzymają przed robieniem czegokolwiek. Zwłaszcza, że sama nalegała, żebyśmy usiedli w odpowiedniej odległości.
Let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none. The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
No dobra. Kilka opcji jest. Taktyczny zapis się przydał. Jeszcze trochę pogadajmy. Pytałaś wcześniej o moje intencje. Co miałaś przez to na myśli?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
Też jest jakaś myśl.
Right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
Ten wolny łańcuch na ścianie, co on tam robi?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
Naprawdę będzie opcja, że możemy się sami zakuć. To był za
I
uśmiech.
hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Obejrzeć chyba
I
możemy,
wouldn't do that if I were you.
tylko oglądamy.
And why is that? Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
No nawet jeżeli nam
I
kask,
don't
to
know. Maybe
bez
it will.
problemu się
He
uwolnimy.
doesn't want us to
To
look at
definitely
it.
nie jest na szyję.
That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with
No
full
dobra, z tej
disinterest as you
perspektywy jest
inspect
faktycznie
it,
mniejsze, powiedzmy na
though she
kask,
can't
nie na
fully
szyję.
hide her curiosity.
Wciąż mamy nóż, możemy się sami uwolnić tak jak ją wtedy.
I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you
Ciekawość
can so
pierwszym
much as blink,
stopniem do
it
piekła.
practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
A jednak na
As
szyję.
if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Co jest lepsze niż więzień?
Yes.
Dwójka więźniów.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
To
What are we
przyjdzie
supposed to do
jak
now?
wtedy inna wersja nas?
Can't
Sobie
even
tak
cut
posiedzimy.
ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
A więc oboje tu utknęliśmy.
Yep.
Co powinniśmy zrobić?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Wiedziałeś, że to się stanie?
No.
Nie przepadasz za pogaduszkami, co?
Nope.
No to czekamy.
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything.
This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
At least the world is safe.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly
No ale
does
chyba
that
jakoś nie. Kasy również.
It just does.
A zwłaszcza
But the
kajdaną.
line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
Staje się ciemniejsze.
Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Okej, zauważyłeś, że piwnica się zmienia?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
No to czekamy.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then...
Może
I
iść
think
tam...
he's gone.
A w sumie tak. Technicznie wyszliśmy z
We
chatki.
made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen
No
to
to prawda,
either of
więc
us.
długa cisza.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
No dobra, więc...
I'm beg...
Szybko tylko... Pliwe serce? A i martwi mnie tylko, że przy tej bestii właśnie nie... Ponawialiśmy, tylko tam już zakończyliśmy, no ale... No chyba ja tak się poddałem z myślą, że... By tą grę splatynować. Natomiast wracamy, dobra, już nie będziemy łańcucha przymierzać. A dajmy jej nóż. Okej, zaufam ci. Daję jej nóż.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
Twoja
Tried this
kontrola na mnie
last
się już
time.
chyba skończyła.
Do you want to know how it went for you?
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right? Oh, or he tried to take over your body.
Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
A little. I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly.
Czyli tak
as
się
she
zamierza
raises the
wyciąć.
blade to her throat.
Jednak.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No. Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Ciekawe.
So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes
A to już chyba za
stare
późno,
up
ani
at you.
kleju nie ma, ani taśmy.
Congratulations! You saved the world.
Huh. So I guess that's it. What a way to go. But she is gone, isn't she?
I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
Now hold on, she's dead. So what's the rush? What's your angle?
No
I
właśnie.
don't have an angle.
Iż kilka razy mieliśmy przypadek, kiedy zostając nagle z martwej stawał się nie martwa.
Look, I'm just not ready to put my guard down. It's best to keep sharp. She wouldn't have done all that without some kind of a reason. She's left us with this dangling thread, and I need to know why.
You're just wasting your energy. The danger has passed, and now we can all relax and enjoy your reward.
Zabierz sobą królewną. Czyli dokładnie w ten sposób. Weźmy.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead.
Jesteś pewien?
But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
To odbieramy swoją nagrodę.
Open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Albo i nie.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone?
But we're still
No,
here.
jest.
Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder.
she's gone. Is that a...
Lusterko. Sprytna serii C. A co jeżeli jednak ją zdradzimy i zostawimy? Opuść piwnicę, aby odebrać swoją nagrodę.
Fine.
I co,
If
znowu
we're
happy
leaving,
ending? Zostajemy
taking the blade.
okres czasu?
I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here.
Czyli
Now
i
it's
tak
just
długa cisza.
empty. The door.
Chyba
Check
happy
the
endingu
door.
się nie doczekamy.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward?
O nie, tylko nie to.
This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
Liczyłem na coś lepszego na koniec w nagrodę za uratowanie
This isn't an
świata.
ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No, this is the beginning of
No
time
tak, no to w
passes.
nieco innym
You can't be
scenariuszu,
sure
ale
if it's days
już
or
doświadczyliśmy.
months, or years or even decades.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this.
Co sugerujesz?
Still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
He's
Zapytań
suggesting
tylko,
you kill yourself.
gdybyśmy
You shouldn't kill yourself when you have
polecieli.
an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Dobra, w każdym razie, dokądkolwiek byśmy nie polecieli, w tym filmie już tego z pewnością nie zrobimy, więc dziękuję za uwagę i naja.